Fuck you, I'm smarter, bitch.
I can't believe you're gonna rig this game.
We don't want to feel dumb anymore.
I feel so stupid right now.
We're here to find out if we're actually dumb. Don't ask us any questions.
Two bumbling morons. Fuck you, I'm smarter.
Press play. We're live. Lindsay put on makeup. I couldn't be bothered.
It's just because I just got done with the hike and I'm really gross.
Oh, okay. I just got done with teaching yoga and I'm really gross. So
just made me feel a little better.
Okay. Well, you look a little better.
Thanks. I look a little bit better.
When you walked in.
All right. Are we ready for part 2
Yeah.
of road trips?
Yeah, road trips. Dueling road trips, like dueling dragons.
All right. Let's
the ride I threw up on.
do it.
All right.
Welcome to Fuck You, I'm Smarter, the comedy game show where we compete with the guests to be crowned the smartest person in the room. Zoom, YouTube Live.
Were you just doing a little tip of the hat?
Yeah.
I love that.
I was
So
tipping my hat
professional.
to our YouTube livers. Sorry
Oh.
you missed it.
Sorry. You can join us, though. Every time we record, we send out a post.
No, we don't. We didn't today.
Oh, I thought we did.
No.
Oh. What were you doing on your phone?
I was posting for this last episode. I did not post that we're going live for this episode.
It's okay. No one joins anyway, but you will eventually when we get famous.
But also, all these episodes stay up. So if you want to go watch any of them, they're
Yeah.
all on our YouTube channel, FU I'm Smarter. Or you could just look up also Kelly and Lindsey. Sometimes that's easier to look us up. That goes for Spotify and for Apple Podcasts too.
Kelly and Lindsey.
Kelly and Lindsey, baby. So Kelly,
Lindsay!
we're back from our dueling road trip.
Oh my goodness. She went up. I went down. We had one beautiful, magical night in North Carolina.
We had a magical night in North Carolina.
We did. I mean, you didn't spend the night, but, you know, we made it count.
I thought about spending the night.
No, but you guys rented an Airbnb. It's all good.
Yeah,
And you got
I was
to
with
meet
my
the-
parents, and I was like, what do I do here? Like,
Do I stay?
do I leave them alone and stay with them? Do I like stay in this crazy house? Are we going to want to do a road trip the next day if we stay up all night? Like, I was like, what are we doing here? So we stayed in this little farm in the middle of nowhere.
Love it.
With the man I told you who left his wife for a man, which I
Right.
love. And
Well, I don't. The wife is probably sad about that, but
but he's living.
he's
his
living his
authentic,
truth. That's true. No,
his
of
most
course.
authentic
You're
life.
right. You're right. We're
And
glad
so is she.
We're right. Well, we don't. We assume.
We hope that she let
We
him
hope
go.
that this like catapulted her into the next phase of being her true authentic self.
It was cute though. I mean, North Carolina was really looking good. I don't know how you felt about North Carolina. I mean, when for our
What part was looking
well,
good to you?
for our listeners,
The
like
flora and fauna.
what? Yeah, when
Okay.
you think of North Carolina, you might think about like big cities like Charlotte, and maybe it's
I
like
think of the woods.
okay. So I don't know if a lot of people think about the woods when they think
Oh.
of North Carolina. I don't really know because there's beach.
It kind of has everything.
It has everything.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, I saw, like, when we went to the Blue Ridge Parkway, it was like being in Costa Rica. I was like, you could be here for a week and just do hiking and feel like
It's
we were in the
magical.
rainforest. It has the
Wow.
climate of the rainforest.
Really?
Oh my God, it's incredible. And waterfalls, and it's incredible.
Now,
Who
where was
knew?
that exactly?
If you're in the mountains, so closer to like the Tennessee side.
Okay. Yeah.
And the Blue Ridge Parkway is like the cities near it are like Blowing Rock,
Right. Blowing Rock.
Banner Elk, Beach
Right.
Mountain,
Right.
Boone. Those are all
Terrifying names.
the cities you would stay in
Right.
if you wanted to kind of explore. I guess it's closer to Blowing Rock, which Blowing Rock.
Why are they blowing up? What
Apparently-
ugh.
Apparently there is a Blowing Rock.
No, what exactly does that mean in your experience?
In my head, it's like you make a paper
No.
airplane and you throw it towards it and then it comes back at you. Like, I think it's a rock where if you throw something at it, it comes back to you in the wind.
It's a wind boomerang,
It's a wind boomerang.
but there's a rock involved.
yes, there's a giant rock.
You could like play handball with the rock, the blowing rock.
I'm under the impression that there's a rock and there's blowing, and I think it's blowing back at you. I don't know. Should I look it up?
No. that's enough. But maybe another time.
Oh my God, hilarious.
Yeah. So so that's it sounds absolutely stunning. I'm glad that you had that time with your family in the redneck. I guess it's sort of the redneck Costa Rica,
It's the redneck Costa Rica.
right?
Speaking of the redneck Riviera,
Oh,
where is that?
Wait.
Is that Florida?
the redneck Riviera. Is that like somewhere on the Mississippi?
Where's the redneck Riviera? You've heard of that, right?
Yes.
Where is the... Oh, I think it's the panhandle.
Of Florida?
I think it's the panhandle of Florida.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, Destin.
Ooh, yeah.
How was Florida?
When I think of Destin, I've heard that name before of a city or town.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been there. It reminds me of Desitin, which is a
Diaper rash.
cream.
It reminds me of Destitute.
It's probably a lot. I bet you can find all those things there.
I think Destin is like a beautiful place that is destroyed by trashy people.
Yeah, it also makes me think that someone couldn't spell the name Dustin.
And they were like, Destin.
Destin.
Destin. It's named after Destin.
Yeah.
How was Florida when
Florida
you were there?
was fine. Florida was good.
'Cause I don't know if you've heard, they've got a lot of COVID.
Got a lot of COVID right now. Yeah, a lot of COVID, and no one seems to mind. It was sort of like everywhere I went in the South, it was like it wasn't happening.
Well, what's interesting is I flew a couple of times during the pandemic. You did not fly once.
No, this was my first flight to get to North Carolina.
And then you went to like
The epicenter
The
of COVID, and
epicenter
then
of
flew back
COVID.
to LA.
from the epicenter.
Correct.
Unbelievable. You
Yeah.
really went hard.
I really did. And
went
I
hard.
booked it all before Delta reared her ugly head and like really took off. But yeah, I kept it.
I'm glad you
the
kept
flight.
it.
My mom was gung ho, and she's in her late 70s. So I'm like, if this bitch is doing it, I'm doing it, and we're just doing it. And we were
That's-
safe. We were wearing our masks. Everybody around us was not safe. You know, here and there for sure. All like a lot of servers in restaurants were, although not everyone was. And like it was a mixed bag, but it was definitely like 90% of the people acted like there was no pandemic.
I mean, look, I want to judge it, but wouldn't it be nice to be that dumb?
Yeah, until you end up in an
Right.
overflowing hospital.
But then you die and you don't have to think about it anymore. I think they're onto something.
Yeah. So wait, Linz, before we get to our quizzes,
Yes.
I wanted to ask you what your absolute like pinnacle moment or favorite part of your trip was. Take as much time as you need. No one's
The trip
watching.
was very special for me because I felt like my boyfriend came with me and I felt like I didn't have to babysit him. Like
That's a big thing.
big.
Yeah.
I felt
Do
like
you feel like you have to babysit him, or you just mean in general, like
No.
other boyfriends you've had to babysit?
yeah,
I got
or
it.
like
Okay.
just make sure they were okay and make sure they wanted to do that, or are you happy going there and like lugging him around with Aunt Lydia and Aunt Nancy. I mean, it was a lot of family.
involvement. Sure.
I felt like he just plugged himself in, and even when I knew he was exhausted or tired or like it was a lot because I was exhausted and tired and it was a lot, he just would be like, wow, this is so great. Like he was just so excited because I think he's from a small family and he was just so excited to be with like family.
Aw.
So that was really nice.
That's
and
cute.
So one of my favorite things was I was showing him New York, and like New York is very special to me. He met like my friends in New York. He saw my old apartment. We went to my old deli. Like we went to the Lindsey Staples.
How are your deli guys?
They weren't there.
Oh no! Did they sell it?
No.
Oh,
They're
okay.
still there, but they just
other people are working.
the time that we went, they weren't.
Oh, gotcha,
there.
gotcha.
But they're good. I got the scoop on them. And we're like, we go to dinner one night, and then we're like with Danny and Xavier and Stacy and the friends, and then he's like, let's just walk back to the hotel, and it was like a couple miles, and on the way home, he had to poop, and I was like, you're about to have a New York moment.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you do?
where do you poop?
Oh my
like,
God.
you're in the city. Where are you going to go? Are you going to like go to a hotel? Are you going to walk into a bar and pretend like you're getting a drink?
I like that you're like, I'm going to leave this up to you. I want to see how you handle this New York moment. I'm testing you. All right, go ahead. Shit in the middle of the street. Show me you're a real New Yorker.
I helped him. Like I gave him some
Pointers.
non-touristy options. Like as a local, I would either poop in a hotel,
Yeah, of course.
go into a restaurant or bar and pretend like that was
Just
I was
meeting
eating there
friends.
and meeting friends. Those are like the biggies. So we decided we were going to find a bar.
Okay, good.
But where we were, like, nothing was open because it was late at this point. And I think because of COVID, things are still closing relatively early in certain neighborhoods.
Mhm.
And so we're like walking and walking and walking and walking. And like, it brought me back to like when you're on the train and you're like, woo, I gotta pee, or woo, I'm gonna poop my pants.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I got my period on the train, and then in the middle of a Dwayne Reed, like a huge Dwayne Reed with multi levels, trying to find the pads and
Unbelievable.
tampons, literally blood dripping down my legs.
Yeah.
You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah. Like just those New York moments
Yeah.
that you don't have when you have a car. Cause
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't know if the listeners know this, but I almost once pooped in my car in LA. But at least even then you could like clean it. You know what I mean? Or no one would see it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we
Yeah.
go to a bar and I order a drink and I sat at the bar like while
Waiting
he went
while
into
your
the
boy-
bathroom. And I
took a
just was
shit.
like, New York is back, baby.
I love it.
New York is back.
I love it.
That was one of my most fun moments.
I love that I asked you what your favorite pinnacle moment of your road trip with your entire family for like 2 weeks was, and it was your boyfriend having
a
to
poop attack.
in the middle of New York City.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you?
I think my favorite, well, probably like when I first saw my sister after not seeing her for a year and a half, and like seeing her pregnant.
She's-
like it was
she
really.
has a belly.
There's a baby inside.
There's a baby inside.
Literally
of
a baby
her.
inside.
Wow.
And yeah, and beyond that, just like the whole trip with my mom. What was you know what my favorite time on that trip was? And it's related to our my quiz today. We did a ghost tour
That's
in Savannah.
so fun.
And it was one of her favorite things too that we did. And the fact that she didn't really want to do it, doesn't really believe in ghosts, didn't really care about it. This was totally my thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to do one in every city we went to. She's like, we're just doing one. I'm giving you one. I'm like,
Right.
fine, totally fine. So I chose Savannah, and it ended up being one of her favorite things that we did as well. And it was like super hot. I was afraid she wasn't even gonna make it through. Like she was gonna have to go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
I'm like, we might have to like skip part of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because it was so hot, so humid. And it was like even though it was like 8 or 9 at night while this was happening, but it was so like it was a heat wave. It was crazy. And she was having so much fun that she got through the whole thing.
Aww.
And I had like a road wine with me, and it was just like
Fun.
such a fun experience.
I want our listeners to know that while I am always right,
Wow, this took a turn.
when you're on vacation and Kelly asks you to do something,
Uh-huh.
even when you really don't want to do it and you're like, I don't really need to eat that, or like, I don't really need to go there, or I don't really need to hit that up, just do it. Because when you do it, it's a little like out of what you would do on your own, and it's always fun.
I really thank you for that, Lens.
Here's to you. I'm talking to the pool at the Madonna Inn right now.
Hey-o, that's right. Lindsay didn't want to go in the pool. We only had a half an hour.
We had
and we
half
were
an hour.
really hungover. And I said, no. We need to get in the pool right now.
It was like 8 a.m.
Well, we had
after
to
like going out all
Hard.
night. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get my hair wet. We have 30 minutes.
No.
She's like, come on, just do
We
it.
just
And
need
I
it.
did it because it was her birthday. That's the only reason why I did it.
I know, I used it.
I was like, it's her fucking birthday, this bitch. And it was like one of my favorite parts of the trip.
I agree.
It was so magical.
I can't wait to go back to the Madonna Inn with you, Lindsay.
Well, I'm glad your mom listened to the ghost tour.
Me too.
situation.
And we both had fun.
That's so fun.
So should we get to our games? Our
Yes.
little pop quiz for the day?
Fuck you, I'm smarter.
So I did a quiz about just based off of the ghost tour that I took in Savannah.
Which I've never been to Savannah, as I've said. Which
I went once in college for a theater conference.
Oh.
Like some kind of competition,
SETC
one of those
thing. Yes.
things, and we had so much fun. So like I was the partner of a guy in the he was in the master's program at FAU, and I was his partner in a scene, and we rehearsed the scene, whatever, and he was the one competing. Like I was just his partner.
Cool.
I was like, whatever. I didn't care. Like I didn't care to do it myself as well.
Right.
And we did our scene where it's like, oh my God, wait, what play was it? Oh my God, who was the?
Wait Until Dark.
No, it was so.
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
No, it wasn't anything that classic. It was a classic, but it was more modern. And I've lost all sense of like who are playwrights at the moment.
Tennessee Williams.
No, it was even more modern. Thank you for helping.
Edward Albee.
No, darker. Anyway.
Nikki Cruz.
No, I'll find it and I'll let everyone know at some point. But in the scene, he was being like subtly aggressive towards me, like sexually, right? But like very subtly. And so he had, there's this one part where he's like, open your mouth. And then he like sticks his fingers in my mouth. It's just this very like psychological, dark, like weird, creepy scene. And we do the scene and like, we don't get past to the next level, right? Of the competition. And
did he blame your mouth?
No. We watched the next level of the competition in like a big amphitheater, and we see the types of scenes that people are doing. They're so like and like they're literally have choreographed the moment between, like they had to do two different scenes in a row, and they've choreographed movement in between, almost like a dance, like flowing from one scene to the next. Like they're just it's so staged and so like proper and so like, and he's like over the top, and he's like shoving his hand down my throat. We're just like, I guess
you nasty whore.
We're just doing we're like into a different type of theater, I guess.
I love it. That is so funny.
Anyway, so that was my first experience with Savannah. We went to like an Irish pub and like got super wasted and like it was the most fun time that I went in college. And that's when I got really
the two of you?
No, it was me and him and a couple other people. My boyfriend at the time, Steve Russo.
Fun.
And Rania and Russell went as well.
So fun.
They did a scene. I don't remember what anyone did, but it was so much fun. And me and Russell and Rania drove together and kind of bonded.
Cute. I love it.
Yeah. Anyhows. So, but that was like in college, so I was almost
like 5 to
7 years ago. 20 years ago. 10 30 20. Wait, how old am I?
I don't know, and I don't want to talk about it.
It was probably like 18 years ago, to be honest. Holy fucking hell! The Ghosts of Savannah. I was gonna call it The Dead People in Savannah, but I just thought maybe Ghosts of Savannah was a little nicer.
Is this gonna be scary?
Yes.
I don't want scary.
I don't like this character. So my mom and I stayed in Savannah at a hotel, an inn. It's called the 1790 Inn and Restaurant. So I guess it was built in 1790 or something. Anyway, there's 3 ghosts that haunt this property. I was really upset. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, I didn't see any ghosts.
Did you feel any weird energy?
No, because we weren't near we were in a different building. We were in literally like a building across the street that was like part of the inn, but not in the actual building of the original old inn.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, there are 3 ghosts which are believed to inhabit the inn. Anna is the most well known, and she has a room. She lives in room 204. She lives.
She dies.
She lives there. So guests staying in room 204 frequently report strange happenings, such as jewelry or clothing being mysteriously moved from one place to the other. Some have experienced being nudged or having bed covers moved. She seems friendly, but she wants to make her presence known. So according to folklore, Anna was a bride of an arranged marriage who fell in love with a sailor in the early 1800s, and she's said to have thrown herself to her own death from a 3rd floor window onto the brick courtyard below. If you ask me, that's really taking a gamble, because 3 stories up is not really that high.
Yeah, you could definitely live.
Right. So, I mean, and maybe she did initially and like slowly die. Who knows what happened? I'm not sure. But apparently she died there just as the sails of her lover's ship left her sight. and headed down the Savannah River to the sea.
Wow.
Some suggest that maybe she was pushed from the window by her angry husband-to-be who had paid for her passage to Savannah. So anyway, Anna's there and does shit, and a lot of people have reported experiencing her, including a pop star. This is your first question, Lindsay.
Okay.
Which pop star stayed in room 204, Anna's room, several years ago while filming a movie and claims to have experienced the ghost of Anna? Was it A, Miley Cyrus, B, Lady Gaga, or C, Janelle Monáe?
Ooh. Well, my first instinct before you even gave me A, B, and C was Miley Cyrus.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know.
Well, that's correct.
Is it really?
Yes. Very good.
Weird. What was the movie? But then I was like, what's the movie that she was doing?
It was called The Last Song. I think this was like in 2010.
That's probably one of those cancer movies. Like,
Like
young
the
people
Walk to
with
Remember
cancer.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my little sister used to tell me to watch. She's like, you have to watch A Walk to Remember.
No, it's
I'm like-
horrible.
I'm like, this not only, I don't know if it's good as a film, but it's not, it just seems horrible. Like,
Horrible.
yeah, even if it's not a good film, I'm sure it's just so gut-wrenching, the subject matter, that I'm gonna cry. Then I'm gonna be pissed off that I was watching some stupid Miley Cyrus movie and crying.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all bad.
What's the name of the Miley Cyrus movie?
The Last Song. I don't know if it's good or not. It could be.
It doesn't sound promising.
Well,
Sorry,
she
Miley.
tweeted about how she had encountered Anna and posted a picture of her boot that had a handprint on it and said that Anna had left the print on her boot.
Wow.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yes. Number 2, a boy named Thaddeus is sometimes seen on the ground floor of the restaurant and tavern. He's a little boy. Thaddeus leaves things all around the room, on the table, at the bar, at the front desk.
Wow.
What does he scatter and leave all around the room? Are they A, handprints, B, shiny pennies, or C, ghost cum?
Well, if he's a little boy, what age do they
When do they start
coming?
I love that that's your question. I don't know. Listeners, does anyone?
Marsha?
Marsha.
What year do the little boys start coming?
You're canceled.
I'm going to say pennies.
Yes, shiny pennies. I don't know what
Cute.
ghost cum looks like. I don't know. Ooh.
I think it's...
Didn't they cover this in Ghostbusters?
Did they?
Isn't there some kind of slime?
Yeah, there was slime, but I don't know if it was genital related. Right.
I'm
We'll look
not
into it.
saying it's not.
We'll look into that.
Shiny pennies. He leaves them all over, and I don't know why, but he's just He's a friendly
Interesting.
spirit and is sometimes experienced as a warm, unexplainable presence. I did go to the restaurant and was near the front desk, and I didn't see any pennies, but I forgot to look for them.
Right.
So I believe it.
When we lived in the Hollywood apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So-
Rose F. Death is here. They start with puberty. So basically between 12.
That makes sense.
So how old is Thaddeus?
I think he could be 10 to 12. I don't know how old he is.
I think he's leaving pennies,
I
but
think
he's
he's
also
coming.
coming all over the place.
He's coming and then putting the pennies down so they stick to the ground.
There you
go.
When we lived in the Hollywood apartment, Krista, our friend Krista, shout out, she was a medium. She could sense energies, and she told me there was a little boy living in our building.
Which apartment?
I think it was like in the hallways because I was feeling some weird energy from my closet, and I asked her to come in and tell me if there was anything in there, and she told me there wasn't. I think she was just protecting me, honestly, but she told me there wasn't. But she said, you know, there are some spirits in this building. They're all friendly spirits. One of them is a young boy. Mm-hmm.
But you didn't notice any cum.
I didn't notice any cum.
Ethereal
But
cum.
honestly, that prison yard that we lived in, there
did
was
look like a
probably
prison
cum
yard.
everywhere.
Oh, yeah. If you took a black light to that whole building,
Yeah.
it would glow like the top of the Chrysler building.
Like the top of the Chrysler building.
What's happening? Okay. Number 3. Da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, this is a good one. Oh, okay, Lindsay.
Yes.
So on the ghost tour, we went to, there's all these different squares in Savannah. they're like just geometrically placed all around the town, so that if they were like from the beginning when they built the city, so that they could like station like military there if they got attacked or whatever.
Got it.
So there are all these different like squares. I forget how many, but there's a lot. We went to Wright Square. Wright Square, where the ghost of a woman named Alice Riley is said to haunt the square. Okay. I want to tell you about Alice Riley and what happened to her.
Okay.
So Alice and her husband Richard worked as servants for a wealthy Savannah businessman named William Wise. This was in the early 1700s. He was a horrible person. He was abusive. He raped Alice. He was mean to both her and her husband. And they finally like had enough, and they ended up killing him.
Wow.
They strangled him to death. And immediately they run away. So, of course, they're the prime suspects. They fled Savannah, but they were found hiding out on a nearby island. And they were hauled back to Savannah, where they received a speedy trial and an even speedier sentence. Both were sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead. Yeah, it doesn't matter that he was abusing them, you know. It's murder is murder, I guess. But I'm not saying he didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So the husband was the first to go to the gallows, which was in Wright Square. Okay. So we were taken to the spot where they actually hanged people, right underneath this like specific. There was like those old trees, those what are they called? Those old
willows.
Well, they're not actually. They're like oak, live oak.
Pussy willows.
No, they're called some kind of live oak tree. Okay, so anyway, he's hanged. Then Alice is like, "Yo, I'm pregnant." So they're like, oh, okay. So they waited to see, is she really pregnant?
Whoa.
And then they found out she really was. So they waited until she had the baby. As soon as she gives birth, they rip him out of her hands. And then she is, maybe she recovers for like a day or something. And then they hang her.
Whoa.
So she's haunting this space looking for her kid. People here, they see like kind of a woman in this area in Wright Square, and she says, "Have you seen my child? Have you seen my baby?" Like she's like looking for her baby still. I know, it's really sad. It's horrible. So apparently, I think she was put to death on January 19th. So like she comes back pretty strong on that day and around that time every year.
Wow.
So my question to you, in this square where they hanged all of these people, including Alice Riley, tell me what is curious about this spot that seems to be a lingering effect of all of the hangings. I'm going to give you an A, B, and C. Is it A, that the tree where they hanged people from, the bark of that tree has a darker color than the others in the square. Almost looks like it's been burned, but no, it was never on fire. Like it's just an effect of whatever. I don't know. The horrors. B, no Spanish moss grows on the hanging tree, even though it's all over the other trees in the square and all over the city. Or C, the spot just underneath the hanging tree has been documented to be consistently 5 to 7 degrees colder at any given time than the rest of the square.
Oh, I like that one.
That is incorrect. I made that up.
What is it?
No Spanish moss will grow on that tree.
Wow.
Even though it's like kind of a spore type of a thing, I think. Or it like flies from one tree to the next. Like it doesn't it's not a spore, but
I think it's dead energy.
The legend of the Spanish moss is that Spanish moss will not grow where innocent blood has been spilled.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and then I ask you because this spiraled my curiosity. Lindsay, number 4. Spanish moss is neither Spanish nor moss. What is it and where is it from?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
Me too.
Spanish moss is a spore.
I said that, and I don't think that's true. I think I made that up. I
It's,
don't know.
It's a fungus.
No.
It's a fungus among us.
No, you're a fungus among us.
And it's from St. Augustine, Florida.
Okay. Wow. All right. So I'll read you the answer. Spanish moss is not from Spain, although it was associated with Spanish explorers of the New World, especially in Florida and the Gulf Coast.
Woo!
But it's native of Virginia. Oh, actually, no. It's native from Virginia to Mexico and through much of Central and South America. So it's really all over.
What is it?
It is not a moss. It is, in a botanical sense, this says, mosses are non-vascular plants, usually quite small, that produce not by flowers and seeds, but by spores. But it's not a spore. It is, so that, a moss is sort of like a fern. They produce by spores. But Spanish moss is a flowering plant. It's a bromeliad.
Neither moss nor spore.
Neither moss nor spore. Spanish moss is a perfectly good flowering plant, and botanists classify it as a bromeliad and thus related to a pineapple.
Who are you calling a bromeliad?
Your mom, because I think she's beautiful,
tu
like a
madre.
pineapple. All right.
Do
Oh
you
my
know
God.
that pineapples are signs of swingers? Like swingers will have like a pineapple in their house, like a pineapple like vase, or pineapples are a sign of like, we want to have sex with you.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
Why?
I don't know. Look it up.
Because pineapples are prickly.
And maybe because if you drink their juice, your cum tastes good.
That's why. That's exactly it.
I'm looking it up.
Lindsay, your last question. Buried in Right Square is the body of Tomochichi.
Whoa.
He was the head of the head
Yamakroch?
chief of a Yamakra town. He was a Native American chief. Now, he was a friend to the white people there. He gave his land to James Oglethorpe to build the city of Savannah. He remains a prominent historical figure of early Georgia history. He was a principal mediator between the native population and the new British settlers. And he contributed much to the establishment of peaceful relations between these two groups and the ultimate success of Georgia. However, peaceful relations, I mean, they literally all ended up having to leave, being pushed out, and eventually the Trail of Tears.
Right.
So peaceful in that sense.
Wow.
I guess.
Yeah.
So interesting about him. So he seems like sort of like a mixed figure in as far as history's eyes go, but he's very much revered because he was such a friend to the white people at the time. So he's buried there. Something I found interesting, he was exiled from the Creek Nation for unclear reasons, and along with several followers, he settled in what is now Savannah. And he basically kind of created his own group, almost like a cult.
Interesting.
Like he's like, no, we're going to create our own tribe.
Right.
Sort of like a Native American cult leader. Can I say that? Is that wrong? I don't know enough about it, but just from reading what happened, it's just the way it sounded like.
Sounded culty.
Sounded a little culty to me. Anyway, so my question to you, Lindsay, many of the descendants of the people that were living in Savannah at the time, the native people, moved south into the Everglades, resisting removal. Lindsay, what are these two tribes called? The two tribes who gained federal recognition in the 20th century and now remain in Florida, the ones who got pushed all the way down to the Everglades. Tell me what those two tribes are. We're from Florida, so who are the tribes that you recall being there?
Tallahassee?
No, but that is the name of a city.
Well, when I did Indian Princess with my dad, which is what it was called at the time,
understand.
don't nail me to the cross.
Wow.
My Native American name was Running Dachshund. We were the Calusa tribe, but I know that's not the answer.
Mm-hmm. It's just the two main ones.
Loxahatchee?
No. The Seminoles?
The Seminole Indians.
And the Miccosukee. Yeah. So,
I forgot about the Miccosukee.
I think it's Miccosukee.
Miccosukee.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So all the people who who like escaped removal because literally anyone who remained, I mean, sure, there's still like some people still living there, right? But like essentially everyone got pushed out,
Right.
and then forced to Oklahoma to the Trail of Tears, on the Trail of Tears,
Wow.
in which hundreds of thousands of people died. So
Can I tell you more about the pineapple?
I can't wait to hear about the pineapple sex cults that we're starting.
The pineapple represents hospitality and welcoming. So, like, it's a trend. You see it in the Target. Like, I have them. Like, I have a cute little pineapple, like, catch-all and a pineapple candle. And, like, it's like a thing.
So do people come into your apartment and think that they're going to get lucky, like with you and Bradley?
Well, listen.
Okay.
It says, thus, a pineapple is placed on a porch or mailbox by swingers to signify that a swinger party is going on. A pineapple is turned upside down when a person is in search of a swinger party. Swingers use this symbol to identify each other in public.
Wow. It's sort of like the Jesus fish.
What's
Draw
the
a
Jesus
pineapple
fish?
in the sand. Like someone would, if they wanted to know if you were Christian, but in a time or a place where you weren't allowed to be, I think, when they were being persecuted somewhere before they started persecuting everyone else, I guess. They would like draw, maybe it was in Jesus's time before they killed him, taking your foot and making like, you know that Jesus, you know the fish? Yeah. So they would make one like arc of the fish, like the half circle sort of, or the half oval. And then the other person, so you could just look like you're like drawing your foot in the sand. That would look like nothing. But then if the person completed the fish, the other person, then you know that they were also Christian.
Wow. Well, pineapples, the swingers have taken over the pineapple.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about North Carolina.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Yeah. I've got a short little North Carolina quiz. I'm telling you, like, my parents have had a house in North Carolina for a really long time, and I think I just got used to, like, I got used to the beauty of it. I'm usually there in the winter when it's snowing, and it's like a winter wonderland. But this time being there and seeing how lush and amazing it is, I'm just like, this place is freaking great. Too bad it's like the meth capital of the world. Okay. North Kakalaka, Titty-taka.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yeah.
North Carolina is the largest producer of blank in the nation.
Pineapples.
No. There has even been a petition to make it blank the official state vegetable.
Oprah.
Is it A, sweet potato, B, cabbage, C, pumpkins? What are those vegetables from? North Kakalaka Titty-taka.
You're so weird. Let's go with pumpkins.
That is incorrect. It's the sweet potato. And fast fact, I've never had a sweet potato while in North Carolina.
What?
I don't think I have.
I don't think I have either.
I
mean, maybe a sweet
I
potato
would
fry.
never know that is a thing.
I didn't know that they were famous for their sweet potatoes. They need to be a little more vocal
I
about
know.
that. I think that should be on their license plates.
Yeah.
I need to see some more like largest sweet potato in the world competitions. Right. You know what I mean? Like I need to see. Yeah. I want some merch. Like let's get their marketing team together. This is crazy.
If I know about Carhenge,
correct,
in Nebraska,
we should know about the sweet potato capital of the world.
Yeah.
My God. Get it together. Who is North Carolina's publicist?
All right, number 2. Which one of these is not correct? North Carolina was the first state to establish A, a state museum of art, B, a state symphony, or C, a state botanical garden. Which one of these is not correct?
Museum of Art.
That is incorrect. It's actually the symphony.
Wait, they had the first Museum of Art?
Yes. And the first botanical garden. I mean,
you know what? Here's the
botanical
thing.
Garden.
Every state claims that they had the first
You're right.
this and the first that because at some point in our travels, my mom learned that somewhere had the first museum of art in the country, and I thought it was South Carolina.
Maybe this is the first state, so they just put North Carolina's Museum of Art instead of just Museum of Art.
Got it. Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's probably it. I just think every state claims to be the first one to do something.
Oh, I forget the answer to this one.
We'll look it up.
I'm gonna guess.
Okay. Great.
Number 3. This famous baseball player hit his first home run in Fayetteville on March 7th, 1914. Was it A, Jackie Robinson, B, Joe DiMaggio, or C, Babe Ruth? This famous baseball player hit his first home run in Fayetteville on March 7th, 1914.
Who are they, the players again?
Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, or Jackie Robinson?
Oh, I have no idea. Let's go Jackie Robinson.
I think it's Babe Ruth.
Okay.
I think it's Babe Ruth. I would like to do a quick little search. I think it's Babe Ruth. Yes.
All right. Woo. What was Babe Ruth's real name? His name wasn't Babe.
No, I forget though.
Babe is a pig.
Yeah.
Some pig.
My favorite candy bar is a Babe Ruth.
What's in that one?
It's like nougat and peanuts and caramel and chocolate. It's just really good.
What is nougat?
I don't know. I'm not here. I'm not here for nougat.
Okay. All right. Okay. George Herman Ruth. Babe Ruth.
Interesting.
Okay.
Kelly.
Yes.
This dangerous plant is only found in 2 American states, North Carolina and South Carolina, but it is native to Hampstead, North Carolina. A, the Venus flytrap. B, tobacco. Or C, deadly nightshade. This dangerous plant is only found in 2 American states.
Venus flytrap.
That is correct.
I know that because my friend Orit is obsessed with them, and she actually taught me that because we were talking about. She has like a whole like backyard full of Venus flytraps and other fly traps, and she told me that particular one is native only to like North Carolina. I was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting is that her climate where she lives is so different than North Carolina, and they do
Colorado.
well there.
I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah. She takes.
Well,
Good,
maybe
she's
that's-
obsessed with them, so she takes good care of them.
I guess depending on where in North Carolina, maybe it's not so different because it's in the
If
mountains.
it's in the mountains, it could be similar actually.
Interesting.
Although it's probably way more humid in North Carolina, but
All right, Kelly, the first blank was built in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fayetteville.
I'm gonna say Babe Ruth statue.
That is incorrect. Is it A, a horse racing track?
Definitely.
B, a mini golf course? Or C, a trout fishing farm?
I'm gonna say mini golf course.
That is correct.
Woo! Fun facts.
All right, we're going to do 3 more. Quickies.
Can I just tell you that Babe Ruth was born in a place called Pigtown?
Well, that's maybe why they call him Babe.
Oh, it all is coming together.
Do you think that's why?
I really don't think so. I don't think Babe
Maybe
was
why
a
they
thing.
called Babe.
Maybe why they called the pig Babe.
Maybe. Interesting. Oh, I don't even know the answer to this one, so I'll go on to the next
You're
one.
amazing.
The world famous Krispy Kreme donuts started out in North Carolina. Kelly, what are your thoughts of Krispy Kreme donuts? I think they're so good, honestly.
I like them once every 5 years.
I think they're so good. They
Yeah, they're
melt in your mouth.
I just don't care about donuts, but like in a moment when you need a donut, they're perfect.
Yeah, they're
you know
so
what I mean?
good.
They're great. I just don't like
so
do
good.
donuts that much.
The first Krispy Kreme donut was made on July 13th, 1937. Founder Vernon Rudolph got a secret recipe from a chef in New Orleans and decided to open up a donut shop. There have been plenty of speculation about the ingredients, but
human meat.
according to historians, the historic recipe likely consisted of cream of fluffed egg whites, sugar, shortening, skim milk, flour, and the secret ingredient.
Cum. Ghost
A, ghost cum. B, marshmallows. C, mashed potatoes. Or D, yellow beets. Ghost cum, marshmallows, mashed potatoes, or yellow beets.
What the fuck?
I know.
Really?
Yes. Fluffed egg whites, sugar, shortening, skim milk,
Huh.
flour. And then is it marshmallows, mashed potatoes, yellow beets, or ghost cum?
I'm going to go yellow beets. I don't know why. I'm just going to go.
No, it's mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, I can't wrap my brain around that.
It can't be that much.
It's got to be
Right?
a little bit,
Just
right?
to like get some kind of weird consistency. That
Consistency.
it needs. Yeah.
I don't know, but it's crazy town.
That's wild.
All right, last North Kakalata Titty Taka question.
Woo!
A drugstore clerk called Caleb Bradham from the city of New Bern invented a syrupy drink in the year 1893 that he claimed helped with digestion. He called it Brad's drink. What is this beverage known as today? Is it A, Coca-Cola, B, Pepsi, or C, root beer? Brad's drink.
I'm going to go root beer.
That is incorrect.
God damn it.
Believe it or not, it is Pepsi.
Really? I thought Pepsi was just a spin-off of Coke.
He changed the name of the drink to Pepsi Cola in 1898. In 1903, Bradham became wholly invested in the business and sold 7,968 gallons of Pepsi Cola in the same year.
Woo! Was that before or after Coca-Cola?
Drinking rum and Coca-Cola.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I figured Coca-Cola came first.
I just want to know the Coke Pepsi wars. Like what happened there?
Look up what came first, the cola or the Pepsi. Check it out. Check it out.
Coke came before Pepsi, although only by a few years. Dr. John S. Pemberton created Coca-Cola in 1886, while Pepsi did not come about until 1893. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Well,
one went up, the other went down.
do you have a preference between Coca-Cola and Pepsi?
I honestly don't think I would know the difference.
I know the difference. I like Coke better.
Is Pepsi sweeter?
Pepsi's like has more of a bite, I feel like. Like more of a
I just don't know. I don't know anymore. I also never drink them anymore. Like very
Me neither.
rarely. I mean,
Yeah.
I do once in a while, but I don't know if I would know.
yeah. Well, maybe we need to do a taste test.
I love it.
On this show.
Great.
Blindfold each other and taste it.
Our listeners wouldn't even know if we were blindfolded or not.
You're right. And they wouldn't even know if we were actually drinking anything at all. Well, Kelly, I'm sorry we're back to reality. I know I had the best time pretending like COVID wasn't real.
Yeah, me and the rest of the South totally just pretending that there was no pandemic, living our lives. But now we're back. And the pandemic is real and everything's horrible. But, you're okay. I'm okay. You okay?
You okay?
You okay?
Just
You guys are okay too.
yeah.
Just, let's be there for each other. Reach out to your friends. It's a rough time for the world.
It's
So
really rough. And like
it's okay to be having a lot of feelings.
I came in today and it was like, how are you? How are you? Like, oh, I don't know. The world is falling apart and everyone's dying.
No, I said, how are you, Lindsay? She says, well, to be honest, I'm depressed. So I was like, oh, good. Me too. Okay.
Yeah.
We can talk now,
But,
So it's all right. It's okay to not be okay.
we do this to escape for a little bit.
Yeah.
And we hope that when you listen to this, you get to escape a little bit.
And we'll leave it at that.
I actually would like to say that I posted on my personal Instagram, but I will post this on our Instagram. Some places if you want to help different charities or organizations in Afghanistan. There's a few to choose from. Some of them help you like give your airline miles to a refugee or help some of the women there that are struggling. Or
yeah, please post that.
And there's links to everything, so it's super easy to kind of just click on. So I will post that, and we could put some of this in the show notes as well for this week.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you for letting us escape for a little while. I know it's been rough for a lot of people, so thanks for letting us make some ghost cum jokes and snuggle each other for an hour. We love you. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends, and just take care of each other. It's fucking rough out there. Love you, Kelly.
Love you too, Linz.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Fuck you, I'm smarter.